Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Outside Noise Album of the Month podcast, where we're talking about the best albums that came out in October of 2025. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing great.
Hi, Michael.
Carrie,
So
Kaylin,
good.
Julia, I'm Michael. And today, the albums we are talking about, in order that which they came out, are Diamond Grove by Weirs, You Left Us in the Spring by Vangas, Rhizome by Cistern, Of the Near and Far by Patricia Brennan, and The Emptiness of All Things by Masanara.
But Michael, that's 5 albums.
Yeah, so there were like, it just comes down to how many Tuesdays, or I guess Fridays there were in a month.
Today's
So,
Tuesday.
Yeah, we record on Tuesdays, but it comes down to how many Fridays are in a
Release
month.
day.
I'd
Yeah.
say Tuesdays are also pretty important.
Tuesdays are very
They're
important.
so,
Were there also 5 Tuesdays in October, or just the Fridays?
I think it's just Friday, but
Probably
anyway,
just
so
the Friday.
and it
October is
also
probably the biggest month.
it also has to do with the
year.
fact that the last Friday happened to fall on the 31st, Halloween. So.
It was a very scary week for all of us.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was very terrifying. We have a very scary album to talk about from that.
We
day,
do,
too.
and
But-
a very strong collection of 5 here, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to lead off our group of 5, the album that came out in the week of 10/3. By the way, we get our weekly albums from our weekly album of the week show, which is Patreon exclusive. So you can go check that out, and there's a free trial on there, so you can get to see our reverse engineer our reasoning here.
Yeah, like why?
Like
did
why?
they pick
Why
it?
are they? Why are these here? What wasn't here? What didn't quite make the cut? So yeah, for the week of October 3rd, we're talking about Diamond Grove by Weirs. Let's make the case for Weirs.
I'm so excited to talk about this album. This is experimental old-time music, which might sound kind of like an oxymoron at first. Like, how do you do this very traditional style of American folk music while experimenting? And the answer is you add some weird drony stuff, you add some synthesizers, but you still keep your jerky calls, you still keep your washboards and your banjos and your haunting a cappella vocals, and you get this.
Yeah, so it's old time music is a precursor to country music. So we think of country music as like the old time, like if somebody were to say old timey music, you'd probably think country music. Old time music comes before that, and it's kind of this early point of synthesis between the blues, which was already happening in the U.S. by the time, and ancient traditions from mostly England.
Yeah, it's like
folk
that
music.
South and Appalachian sort of
Right, mostly
merriment,
associated.
that
yeah,
early shit.
Yeah, mostly associated with the Delta and the Appalachian region. And this record takes things even further and is literally playing songs which those bands would have played. They're songs that predate what people call the Great American Songbook, and these are straight back to Old English songs about. I think a couple of them are about a war that was fought between like England and Scotland hundreds and hundreds of years ago.
That's some Macbeth shit.
Yeah,
Like,
so-
actually, yeah.
Or it's a song about like one of your like 14 children dying.
Yes.
Or,
Right.
Lyricism that implies you know who the Baron is.
Yeah. So this is I talked about in my video review that the American South from the earliest days had this weird fetishization of medieval England.
yes, yeah.
It's the landowners of the South wanted to see themselves as the successors of the barons and the lords, I guess would be the right word, and the landowning elite of the people who lived in the castles of the
and, like,
medieval
feudal
age,
times.
of feudalism. Yes,
Yeah.
because what they were running was, more or less even more similar to feudalism, but even more cruel, right? But,
Right.
And, which is
so much more economically viable to just do slavery.
yeah, exactly. Which is so. And it partially fed into their justification. It's like, oh, well, we're just like these people from this culture that we came from, and nothing was wrong with that. So, yeah, all that stuff. And then nowadays we have this weird fetishization of the old American South. So it just goes. And people have this fetishization of the old American South without even stopping to think what that means, what that society
Or
produced.
does this shit even sound like country music that you're pushing as country
Exactly.
music, Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You get to the point where
Right.
you're fetishizing something and you're not even really even getting close to replicating
Thinking about what it
was
is.
doing.
Yeah.
So,
That's
anyway.
cool that this is like this 3-way like mirror of medieval songs in a way.
because
Yeah.
obviously it's insane and stupid. The villain in like Django Unchained is like cartoonishly wants to like pretend to be French or something. He's like the butt of a lot of jokes in that movie. And you see that movie and you're like, God, this guy's so insufferable and annoying. And it's like, well, that's what these people are doing when they fetishize the old American South. And this band is kind of making that point in a very covert and interesting and fun way.
Yeah, and they're from a super small North Carolina town too. If it gets if it's legit, these guys are
Didn't they film it like on some sort of location?
It was in
Go Unchained?
No.
Oh.
not film, record. This album got recorded
recorded.
in some really old like stone farmhouse in
Fuck
Virginia
yeah,
or something.
I love that shit. And as far as its experimentalism, that fuzziness and noisiness, those doxology interludes are really where that comes in and shines, and really stitch these more storytelling folk ideas together.
Yeah, it takes from actual like old songs and texts that existed.
It's cool.
Right? And also I like that with like the hyper pop kind of influence happening.
You can do both. It's not just. I think that's part of where we get that bridge where we can reason that they're making some statement about culture today, is because they want us to think about culture today because they bring in some influence from it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And by the time this video is released, we will be seeing this artist probably in just a few days. They're coming through Philadelphia at a show put together by the Fire Museum, so we will catch them when they're here.
I'm so excited. I didn't even know. That's awesome.
The other lineups I've seen by that crew are awesome too.
Okay,
Very
sick.
Cool.
When are they doing it again?
I don't know.
Anyway, we got to figure that out.
In December.
Oh, we'll worry about it later.
All right.
Later.
So we want to move on?
I think so, yeah. I feel like that's a good case for Weirs. Next would be You Left Us in the Spring by Vangas.
Yes. It is a dark post-rock kind of situation, very atmospheric, and it's all, as the title would suggest, about like loss. And I would say it does the rare thing of being cinematic without being over the top, without being in your face, without being like epic.
Yes, I wrote that down when we talked about this in the album of the week, because you said cinematic but not epic. I felt like that was a major takeaway for sure.
Yeah, it feels like the first track especially comes in so hot, it feels like something horrible is about to happen. It literally, I mean, it gives you like, if you don't regularly experience anxiety, this track will kind of show you what you're missing out on.
Oh god, and then much like anxiety, the real thing is never as bad as you fear it.
Yeah. But anyway, this is a super emotional record. Very calculated, very slow, drawn out song structure.
I was gonna say if you're into slowcore, this is very slow. Slowcore.
Yeah.
And it's nice. Yeah.
Starts out very like intense and it gets looser and looser as it goes on.
Yeah. But it I was very surprised when I saw like how little attention this had gotten. I feel like if this was a few years ago in the same era as like like Have a Nice Life and all of that, this would have absolutely blown up alongside those things, because it is a similar vibe, and it's that's a high bar, but I would say it's at least in the neighborhood, right, in terms of quality to like Have a Nice Life. Yeah, I would say if any of those things I said kind of appealed to you, this is definitely one.
This genre just conveys emotion and grief unlike anything else. I feel like this really mirrors kind of the grieving process, and that it starts with this like big painful surge, and then it kind of like numbs out and becomes more mellow, but with these sort of peaks and valleys throughout, until it eventually does sort of fizzle into like anhedonia.
Yeah, I mean, it just becomes something that you just have to deal with. Like at a certain point, you just have to, do what everyone else is doing and pretend you're okay, I guess. Yeah.
I also said in the other podcast, if you want an ethical daughters to listen to, this will absolutely fill that hole and more. I think
what an enticing way of
it brings more to the table. Come on.
I know. Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I would say this is even more concept driven than I would,
for sure.
I would recommend this to anybody who has any interest in any of that world, which seems to be a lot of people right now, which I really appreciate and think is cool. So go check out Vangas.
Love it.
After that, we have Rhizome by Cistern. This is some solid post-punk. It is a very old-school style of post-punk in that it is that sort of skeletal, kind of kraut-rocky kind of sound.
Thank God.
Yes.
Yeah. I compared this to... it's definitely an edgier version of it, but, you know, the very bright, very accessible version of this would be like Cheekface.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
This is Cheekface's, like, fucked up older sibling.
Yeah, but
Right.
a couple songs on here at least get close to that amount of,
Right.
like, sunshiney-ness.
I
you know?
think
but
post-punk
less
can
like, I don't know. It's the lyrics are less goofy, I feel.
Oh,
Yes.
totally.
Yeah.
Post-punk can
A little
have
more
a sort
serious.
of, like, jaunty, like, a relatively, like,
That's, like,
up-tempo
Crown
sound.
to me, yeah.
But it is, like, in that minor key, so you're still, like, kind of mopey.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
This
yeah.
this has a more maybe Virgin. It doesn't sound gothic in the way that it's not all like reverbed out, but
It doesn't
It's
sound...
definitely dark,
I
right?
think this is very... It's gothic to me.
I was gonna say I think it's that dark in the gothic way.
It's just
Okay,
not
yeah.
like stereotypically. It's not dark wave. We're
Right.
not going
Yeah.
like super
Right.
over the top. But again,
Right.
yeah, it is like Joy Division.
yeah.
And he kind of does those like more gothic sounding vocals, right?
Yes.
It's just those like deep,
Absolutely.
deep vocals, and yeah, I think
Yeah.
there is enough like reverb and stuff on the voice to give it that vibe.
So it plays with all of these different kind of ideas. I kind of chalk down its vibe to like the realization that like everything is fucked, nobody is coming to save you, and you have to learn how to turn to other people around you and
Yeah.
build something that is sustainable. And I guess we saw that happen in real life shortly after this came out, when everyone had to, you know, pull together and contribute to food banks to stave off starvation in the face of SNAP benefits being
Yeah.
cut, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's more or less what we're talking about here. So, yeah, an album talking about that in much more abstract terms, much more emotional terms, is also like nobody's coming to save you emotionally. You need to,
Right.
you know, like have people around you.
And
so,
it's that like unity into like intentional joy and stuff. Yeah, very much so.
yeah, so it's, but like I said, it has moments where its upbeatness almost rises to the level of some of the more accessible post-punk stuff, but it also has moments that are pretty abstract and weird and soupy and that kind of stuff. So definitely a lot for everybody here. I would say, you know, 80s college rock, 80s post-punk, and with a ton of more contemporary twists. Again, this was another one that I was very shocked at how few people had checked it out. I mean, I really
Come
think
on,
it could
guys.
appeal to a much larger crowd.
Absolutely, yeah. I think when we talked about this on our weekly podcast, we also compared it to Modest Mouse a little bit. Like you said, that the sort of college rock sound. And I do think that the overall message and lyrical content is what kind of catapulted it to that album of the week spot. And I think it does a good job of kind of taking that self-destructive tendency and turning it outwards towards these major institutions, and then also asking the question of like, how do you take the feelings of like rage and anger and actually do something productive with them?
Yeah.
And I love that this album explores those things. It's great.
Yeah, it was good and we liked
It was good and I liked it. Thank you, Sistern. Are we ready for the next album?
Yeah.
It was October 24th, and we picked Of the Near and Far by Patricia Brennan. This was really fabulous percussive-based jazz. She's a modern, just contemporary classical composer,
New
percussionist.
music. Jazz
New
and
music, if you will.
classical.
Oh, yes, this is where we
fusion.
had a discussion of
Jazzical.
new music.
Jazzical.
Jazzical.
She takes a traditional classical string quartet and a
Yeah.
jazz quintet, and then also an electronic musician, and
And a
threw them
lot
all
of
in a room.
Jazz percussion as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Threw
also
them all in a room and said, "You cannot leave.
She gave
We're
them
not feeding you. We're
one
not
star
watering
chart,
you."
a star chart, a tarot deck, and their instruments, and said, "Go at it."
Figure it out.
No,
She,
we're
like-
kidding.
Of course not. No, she like studied and
Almost.
somehow sequenced certain constellations to kind of translate them into these musical modes that she then composed the album with. So,
Yeah.
you know, Of the Near and Far. It's about, you know, the people around you in the room playing the music with you, and the stars and shit that are like so much further away and older and bigger than you. will
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
be.
If you go onto her Bandcamp,
Sick.
it kind of explains how you could kind of like reverse engineer the process, where if you got a circle of fifths out and plotted the way that stars are arranged in certain constellations, you would get the modes. Yeah, you're right. It's modes and basically making new modes to play in, and because they use a circle of fifths, is at least close enough to traditional Western music theory that it all is very like harmonically sound. It sounds awesome, but it also sounds like something you've never heard before.
Yeah,
and
that's true. It's not like those videos where they clip the little syntheset to the mushroom and it makes little beat boops. It's not quite sequenced like that. This is like definitely organic composed music. Right?
Yeah, because once they got the mode, they came up with something.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Yeah. So the everything after that was all human hand.
Not random based on the stars, but she had a specific method for sure.
She said a lot of it was like very minimally arranged though. She said after she got that like initial star map / sheet music, I guess, from this process, that there wasn't a ton of extra composition that went into it.
But there's also a difference between like what happened here and like just having it like randomly generated based on those stars.
Totally,
you know what I mean? Yeah. So but anyway, it's a mix of like random chance and just the way that nature arranges things, and people getting together and like you said, more or less improvising. But
well, as far as like nature arranging things, that does bring into question, because the constellations aren't. I mean, they're fixed, but they're prescribed.
That's true.
We made those patterns, so of course the patterns that we have arbitrarily put on the stars already return patterns to us. If you picked just like 8 random stars or whatever, of course you're gonna get a more random result. But because we've already noticed, like, oh, this certain arrangement fits
looks like
together.
This.
There is some
I have full body chills.
I think as like a kid growing up in the suburbs, I was like, constellations make a lot of sense. Those are like the only stars you can see. And then I went, out into like the desert for the first time and saw how many stars you can actually for real see, and especially how many stars people saw before there was, artificial light in cities. And it's like, how did they pick that collection of 12 stars to make a shape out of? There's
if
just so
you
much
don't have shit to do, pattern recognition is very heightened. I'm sure you're like, that looks like a.
But you're right.
Lizard.
It's not fully random course of nature, because these are stars that were just
That's
there.
Such a good point.
But they were all arranged into. They're like, this one looks like.
Thanks, guys.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, you can keep telling me how smart I am.
Damn.
But anyway, so lots of intersections of human hand and nature here, but
and a really like
something really
fun and like you were saying, Michael, still fun to listen to album. It doesn't feel like weird or
this
robotic
isn't the type
or cold
of
or anything.
This isn't the type of atonal music that will leave you stressed out.
No, not at all. Yeah.
It's so beautiful. Yeah, really melodious.
Yes.
Great.
Melodious.
All right, let's bring it all around to our special Halloween release, The Emptiness of All Things
by Masanara. Somewhat local New Jersey group, making something in the vein of the Scrams, Screamo, emo world. This is also more mathy than a lot of things that get lumped into that, so it's not a perfect fit to call it that, but I'd say that more or less makes sense. And it is just very, very intense all the way through. Just a really awesome damn-ass rock record. And, it jumps into a lot of the things that those albums deal with. The angst, the feeling uncomfortable with how, fucked up things are, and it's basically screaming out into like, how do you not see this? A lot of that kind of stuff. Yeah, very, very emotive, very intense, I guess.
Yeah, and when you are like trying to get those feelings out of like, how is everyone else okay with this and not me? Yeah. Like, it doesn't always make you feel better to just hear that other people feel that way, but something about making it so tangible in an album such as this, Scram specifically, I mean, its whole intent is to just cut right to that emotion and be the one to say it out loud. It's like not easy, but I think that is like, I don't know, I think that's that like positive hardcore movement is maybe where my little train of thought is heading down, but like the unity that you find in verbalizing it. You know?
It's not like doomer music.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it keeps itself from doing that, I think, by hitting so many different like musical notes with each song.
For sure.
Musical notes. Like different
know
like
what you mean.
genres.
Different motifs.
Different voices,
Yeah, it's just like a really good collections.
Absolutely.
Very solid songs.
Yeah.
Enjoyable to listen to. I love it.
But really intense. I know that calling things cathartic is maybe a little cliche at this point, but this really does present a super cathartic release. And like you said, it covers so many different genres within this sort of heavy scene. I feel like they do it all super well. It's rare to see this level of like sonic diversity within a record. They're able to do that scrim sound and more of a hardcore thing and more of like an emo thing.
It's all so cohesive within the album too.
Delicious.
It's not like weird and choppy. It's like, oh, what's this doing here?
No, the pacing is great.
Yeah.
It really keeps you interested. They're able to like speed things up and slow things down while still like holding on to that tension and intensity.
Yeah, and it's not available on any streaming, but you can get it for free on their Bandcamp.
Yep.
Do
Nice.
that.
Go do
and
that.
then download it and put it in your streaming app.
And then buy a
wherever.
record from them or buy a
Buy
t-shirt.
things.
And then
Buy
just
things
open up your PayPal and send them some money while you're at it.
if you are so inclined.
Okay, so now we've discussed all 5 albums.
It's all on the table.
Do we have a choice?
I got one.
I've got a pick. Maybe
This
two.
is really tough. This is one of the better.
It's a
I don't know.
strong,
tough.
strong.
They're
run.
all they're all really good, but it is hard. There's not like one forerunner, but I think there is. And do we want
I have it.
Oh, you think?
do we
there
want
is.
to count
I
down
have it.
from 3? Do we try this again?
I think we should. I like when we all say different things anyway.
Yeah.
Do we when we do this, do we say the name of the album or the name of the artist?
I've always
Artist.
done
Let's
artist.
do
Artist?
artist.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's do artist.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Weirs.
Vangas. Oh, did everyone else say Weirs?
I think 2 people said Vangas and 2 people said Weirs. Is that right?
I said Vangas.
I said Weirs.
You said Vangas.
I said Weirs.
Ooh, we're 2 and 2.
Michael, what did you say?
I said Vangas.
Oh, okay, we're 2 and 2.
How will we figure it out? Old time Americana versus slowcore post rock.
I think if we're just going off of like concepts, I feel like the Weirs one is stronger to me.
Yeah, it has more of like a you
I
also
don't know
got
if I
to
wanna
keep in
pin it
mind.
musically.
You also got to keep in mind the whole concept I pulled from that is kind of something I mean, it's like not unreasonable to think that that's what they were going for, but I did more or less just come up with all the connections.
With the medieval South. Yeah.
But history's there. They've got their liner notes about it.
I bet if you sat these people down and talked to them,
that
it would
sort
more or
of-
less come up that way.
I
but
think that's also a very like sensical direction to
Yeah.
think that they took. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's not true, but I am saying it's not necessarily something that's guaranteed. To have been on their minds.
But the facts are there that it is old time music that comes from this like pre-country place that's sort of tinged with that and takes the trends of hyperpop from the past decade or so, infuses it in.
Yeah, I think it's a reasonable guess. But,
Yeah. But okay, Vangas and Vangas.
I think they do deliver on that emotional intensity, and it just comes through with such vulnerability and passion and intensity, and I can't not pick this album.
Yeah, it's
fair.
It's just striking how like this is one of those albums that I just want to just put a giant poster of in front of my house. So it's like
Yes.
it's like how did this not, you know what I mean? It's like, this is not a just world. How did this not absolutely blow up? You know, it's
That's
like
true.
the sheer like communication of grief, which is so difficult and so hard to get right, so easy to do poorly. And I think they did it in a really like harrowing way. That's almost like it's almost one of those albums that's like so upsetting you don't want to hit play on it again. But it stays just shy of that to where it's like re-listenable.
Yeah, I feel like this album is going to stay with me for a long time. And Weirs is great. I'm excited to see them, but I don't see myself like returning to this like old-timey drone on the regular. But that might just be my personal preference.
Yeah. Do we have any movers?
I'm gonna move to Patricia Brennan.
We're
I guess
that works
does,
in the
that does
Vegas.
make a decision to be made, but that's not what I was
That's where I'm
expecting.
at. Sorry,
I'm moving
Julia.
too.
Okay.
Okay.
To Patricia Brennan?
Yes, Patricia.
What?
No. Okay,
No,
I'll move
you
to
better
Patricia
not.
Brennan. We just like moved to like another.
Well, somebody has to win.
Right.
No.
I'll swap to Vangas.
Yeah, I can do
That
Vangas.
was
Okay, totally cool with
rather
that,
convincing.
Great.
Yeah.
It's a great album.
Because it's
Happy-
true.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
true.
Yeah.
Love.
All right, well, great.
Congrats.
Congrats to Vangas.
Yeah.
Um,
Any honorable mentions, guys? No. Sorry.
I have an honorable mention.
okay. What is it?
Guys, I have an artist that I've been gatekeeping from everyone for months now. I found this artist in my listening, again, months ago. He was within our like threshold, but I didn't tell anyone.
Wow.
And I didn't put it on Rapid Fire.
Wow.
I've just been listening to this album over and over again.
What? This is crazy. This is
Yeah,
a
what the
betrayal.
And this artist put out a new album last month for October, and now I feel called to share it with you all.
What? This is ridiculous.
Well, then what is it?
Sorry, let me compose myself. I'm talking about Luke Schneider, who is a pedal steel player from Nashville. And he does like some studio pedal steel stuff, but in his solo music career, it's all like beautiful ambient works. The album that I've been like really spinning over and over again is For Dancing in the Quiet Light. But last month he put out a companion for The Spaces in Between Dreams with Jamie Lidell. And I think it's really lovely. And if you like ambient, and if you like pedal steel, and if you like electronica, this hits all three of those points. It's really, really gorgeous stuff. Love all of his music. I'm sorry I kept Luke, but now you all know, and I feel like a weight has been lifted off of my shoulders.
Wow. Like, that's not what we do.
That's crazy.
But I'm so glad you found that and have been enjoying it. I can't wait to hear it, I guess, eventually.
I've played it for you before. You're like, this is so beautiful. What is this?
Wow.
Well,
Your little secret.
Yeah, you had to keep one for yourself. We've all got our little artist.
I've got a few that I've just kind of squirreled away that are just for me.
That's really funny.
You have to sign up for my personal Patreon.
Yeah. that one's behind another paywall.
Oh my god. But you have to already have signed up for hours, and then this is like a branch.
Yeah, you can get
This
the.
one.
Yeah, it's like when you sign up for fucking Hulu, but you have to like get the special package to watch the shows you actually.
This
want.
is the HBO package.
Well, yeah, we have
this is
the
the
Kalen,
Disney
we have the
Plus
Kalen
package.
upgrade. when
Yeah,
we get
the secret
yeah.
$15.99 Kalen tier
Right.
on Patreon.
$15.99?
Yeah, girl.
Oh my god.
Wow.
How good
And
are
I'm
these bands that we're not talking about?
It's gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay.
Okay, well, great pick. I mean, I'm really that's like the freshest pick that
fresh.
Outside
That's
Voices ever
crazy.
had.
My pick is one that we did actually make a video about. It is Making a Rubber Band Ball in the Brain of the Mind by Drive 45. If you like Cardiacs and the zany off-the-walledness of the most extreme side of British prog rock, you should go check it out. It is crazy. It's not British prog rock, but it has that same vibe.
Fits right in.
And
It's like polka pop.
yeah, it has a polka kind of vibe a lot of the time.
They
It
do
is
silly voices.
very maximalist, very theatrical, very fun. Go check it
Yeah,
out.
great listen.
I've got an honorable mention as well. It's We Live in Sand by Snakeskin. I feel like this might have been my pick for the weekly pod too. Sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I think it could deserve a reiteration for the YouTube community. This is some really beautiful dream pop, and it's got some pieces of ambient music, noise, and even going into these industrial sort of undertones that lead the album along. It's really beautiful, dreamlike, very heartbreaking. They're based out of Beirut, and so it's kind of about when war like comes to you, what that is like in that grieving process and everything, and just how complex things become. And it's a very beautiful album. Thank you, Snakeskin. That is all.
Very good.
That is my statement.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Dot by Anastasia Coop. She put out Darning Woman last year, I think, and it was very like folksy, true folksy, right?
Yeah, it had a singer-songwriter vibe, but it was more on the minimal folksy kind of.
Yeah. And this new album is in a new direction. I think it's very, it's like debut Bjork meets neo folk with like a twee-ish kind of aspect to it. And
I'd also compare it to like later Sufjan. It has a little bit of a
that's
indie-tronica is the word.
I think it's like, I don't want to pit two queens against each other, but I think I might like Dot more. And I think this is such a good new direction, and I don't know if the plan is to keep switching it up every year.
Right.
But I'm loving this. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Love it.
Delicious.
Cool. Thank you, Anastasia.
Any news items?
Any
exciting
news?
news?
I have more honorable mentions, but we don't have to keep doing honorable mentions.
You know, the more the merrier. But it's all
I feel
good.
like we're all right.
I think we might have done it.
Burning a hole in your pocket.
No, we can wrap it up.
All right. Well,
we
thanks
can
everybody for watching. We have
Yes.
crowned our album of the month of October, and we'll see you back with the great albums videos and
Yes.
the up next videos every week. And
Yes.
we'll see you next month with one of these again.
Absolutely. I wanted to say, I said it in Up Next, but we've gotten like a lot of new subscribers, new people commenting on the channel. I want to say welcome and thank you. That's all.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
We
Right.
love you.
I love you.
I love you.
I love
I
you.
personally love you personally.
And I'll love you even more if you sign up for our Patreon, or if you buy cassette tape from our website, or if you buy a hat from our website.
But if you
that
can't, it's
subscribe.
fine. If you can't, it's fine.
No,
Guys.
if you love us
No,
too,
no,
prove
guys.
it.
They make
Don't.
prove it.
Christmas gifts
Guys.
or winter holiday gifts for in general.
Yeah.
You can do a
You
bundle.
buying
you
as
can
a
give
gift to
little tape
everybody.
everyone.
You could buy them and then just throw them away. Okay.
Shit.
Don't do that.
You should go to like a go.
Yeah.
No, listen.
No,
This is
no,
recording. No,
no,